Financial crisis in America for people who were worse off last year because of inflation. Today, I read an article on Yahoo Finance put out by CNN and written by Alicia Wallace titled, "High Inflation Made Finances Worse for 65% of Americans Last Year." According to the author, nearly 2/3 of U.S. adults last year were worse off because of inflation, and roughly 1 in 6 couldn't pay all of their monthly bills. This is according to a Federal Reserve report released Tuesday titled Economic Well-Being of U.S. Households Report for 2023. The author went on to share additional findings from the report. Inflation made the financial lives worse for 65% of U.S. households, and 19% of respondents said it was much worse. Here are my thoughts. I'm not surprised to hear about this, because just about everything in life has gotten more expensive, while wages have not kept pace for many people. It is disturbing that 1 in 6 people couldn't pay all of their monthly bills. I sincerely hope they can find a way to navigate these difficult times in our country. Imagine the stress that this must cause some adults. Think about how this impacts their families. I am sure the mood must be pretty tense in some households right now as adults try to figure out what to do. Some may be left with few options unless they can find a way to live further beneath their means or increase their income. Some may be able to get creative and find ways to do this, while others may continue to suffer financially. I'm sure some of you drive around and see restaurants full of people and you think everything is great. I'm sure things are great for some individuals who own assets that have risen in value with inflation. There are a lot of people who own very little other than the clothes in their closet and some furniture that is basically worthless. Many people don't even own their cars. They owe more on these cars than they are worth. A lot of Americans have a negative net worth. Some have tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. Others have credit card debt and buy now, pay later debt. They may appear to be doing well, but that is all a facade. Some may be teetering on the brink of bankruptcy if they are not careful. Getting back to the article, I'm going to share what I found to be the most disturbing. Lower income adults reported higher instances of not having enough to eat and not being able to cover bills in full, along with skipping medical care. Parts of our country have turned into a concrete and steel mess, and people can't grow their own food if they want it to. People need to make money to buy food that is grown somewhere else. I don't want to get too deep with you, but I want you to think about how much longer this can go on globally. When do we reach a tipping point where there just isn't enough good food for everyone? I stress the words good food. When are we going to reach a tipping point with the unhoused population in America? We keep hearing about tent cities on the news. Are more parts of the world going to start looking like the Dharavi slum, which is the most densely populated slum in the world? I fear some parts of America may end up like that in the future. If you've never heard of this area in India, you can look it up. It's spelled Dharavi. If you've ever been there, tell me about it in the comment section below. Getting back to the article, there are some percentages that were shared by the author that really surprised me. Childcare expenses were considerable in 2023. Paid childcare expenses amounted to 50% to 70% of what parents shelled out for their monthly housing payment. That's staggering to me. At some point, a large portion of the American population may not be able to afford to have children anymore. We may be getting close to that point. Only the most affluent may stand a chance of raising a child from birth to adulthood and also being able to assist with covering the cost of an advanced education. From what I read in this article, the cost of just daycare is getting cost prohibitive. There are a lot of other costs that need to be considered as well, such as food, clothing, medical care, school supplies, and let's not even talk about all the electronic gizmos that young people want today just because that's what their friends have. Some parents will struggle to afford all of this. What do you think about all of this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. President Biden appears to be trying to help bring the cost of fuel down for Americans, so perhaps people will see some relief during this period of high inflation. I read an article today on foxbusiness.com written by Timothy Narazi titled, "White House Released 1 million barrels of gasoline, attempting to bring prices down." According to the author, the White House is announcing the release of over 1 million barrels of gasoline from the Northeast Gasoline Supply Reserve in an attempt to lower prices as inflation weighs on voters ahead of the November election. The author shared a quote from Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm, where she said the Biden-Harris administration is laser focused on lowering prices at the pump for American families, especially as drivers hit the road for summer driving season. Well, my friends, I feel for Americans who are struggling to afford fuel at the gas station. However, it concerns me that President Biden is tapping our gasoline supply reserve. Don't you think we should keep our reserves at full capacity in the event we encounter some type of unforeseen calamity? It has been my understanding that this reserve provides protection for people in the northeastern part of America in the event there are disruptions in supplies. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there are no disruptions in supplies. Is this just being done for political reasons, or is this being done because President Biden truly wants to provide some financial relief for Americans during this period of high inflation, or perhaps a combination of both? I'm not trying to get political here. I'm just asking some questions that come to mind as I try to understand this. If you have another idea why he is releasing 1 million barrels of gasoline, tell me about it in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.